All right, guys, before we start, what I need you to do is take your vehicle down to your local auto repair shop and have your AC system evacuated. Now, on this vehicle, we do not have to because the AC condenser, look down here, it has a big hole in it. So everything is gone. All right, so let's get some tools and get this job done. All right, now there used to be a cover right here. They should be on yours. If there is, there's going to be some clips holding it in. I can't show you on this because obviously it's not here. But after that, the next thing you want to do is take a 10mm socket. You got two 10mm bolts right here. We're going to remove those. Take your entire air duct box off. And this is what I like to do, guys. Take your bolts and put them back where you got them. Put them in by a couple threads so you know exactly where they go. So let's put this to the side. All right, now you can probably do this without doing what I'm about to do, but I like to do this to give me an extra room. I'm going to remove both our horns. Now your horns are held on by 12mm bolts each side. So what we're going to do is take that off. I'm going to just show you one, and then the other side is the same, and show you how to unplug it. Once you get the bolt out, bring the horn up, and it's going to have a plug on it. What you're going to do is that tab right there, squeeze it into the plug and unplug it. Take your bolt, put your bolt back in there by a couple threads, and that's it. And at this time, what you can do, you can mark this horn just to make sure it goes back on this side and the other one goes on the other side. All right, so let's get our other horn out and move on. All right, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to move our radiator support here. There's going to be 6 10mm bolts. You're going to have 1, 2, 3, and you look in here. I'll put my wrench on the socket with my wrench on this. 4 right there, and on the other end 5 and 6. Now this one up here, these two in the front, I'm using a 10mm speed wrench, and you want to use a 10mm speed wrench, or you can probably get in there with a ratchet and remove this one, and just this spring can move a little bit, and get this right here. So let's get all those bolts out, and we'll actually get the 4 out and leave the 2 top ones in, the one up here and the one over there. Leave those in. All right, we got all 4 bolts out. The last 2 is 10mm bolts. I can use a socket on this. Pop those out. Once you get those out, now guys, if you don't have a cover on your positive terminal right now, you definitely want to get a rag or something and put it on this, because what you're going to do is pick it up, just bring that over to the side and lean it. Now it's pretty far away from it, but you just never know. And you're doing that why? Because doing what? Why can't you just take it away? Because the cable to the hood latch is still attached to it. I see. And now this gives you a lot of room to move this condenser back and forth, so you can get your hand in it and your horns. The wires out of the way. Everything is great. All right, let's put these bolts to the side. All right, the next thing we're going to do is remove our AC condenser lines. Now I got the screwdriver pointing down here. There's one right here to the top. Lost focus. You know, let me get this wire out of the way, because this might get in your way. Okay, one right here and one right below it. Now, so what you're going to do, get your 10mm socket. I'm using a cordless ratchet. It's not difficult for me to do this. It's just I want to make sure you guys can get a good angle at it. Hold my hose back. Guys, it is so important. Do not attempt this job if there's Freon in this system. Well, right now I'm taking this off. The Freon gonna spray everywhere. So we're gonna take off one bolt. Bring that up. And then the one right below it. So let's get that bolt out of there. Alright, both bolts are the same length, so you don't have to worry about getting them mixed up. Now what you're going to do is reach down there. Hopefully you can see. Okay, can you reach over this way? Okay, just wiggle, pull the line out. Now this one is cool because this one got a little mark, a red dot on it. So I know this one goes on the top. But and then reach down here and grab the other one. And I'm trying to see. They should just pop right out. Well, no, they're not gonna. You gotta wiggle them. Okay, we got both of them out. And what's good about this is the one on the bottom. Oh no. Okay. The one on the bottom is smaller in diameter than the one on the top, so you can't get them confused. All right. Now, the next thing you're gonna do is take your 10mm and look down, but there's 4 bolts holding this condenser in. You got one bolt right there. Go on the other side. We got one right here. All right, so this one, it's got this thing in the way, so I can't really get down the bolt. But you can take, being that your support is out, you can pick the radiator and assembly up. And maybe it's a good idea to use a deep 10mm. Okay, so let's get the other one out. All right, we got those 2 bolts out. They're the same length. Now that you got the 2 bottom ones out, you're gonna have 2 on the top. 1 and 2. So let's get those 2 bolts out. Okay, those 2 bolts are the same length as well, and they're the same length as the ones on the bottom. Now your condenser is ready to come out. What you want to do is push your radiator assembly forward just a little bit. And carefully, because you don't want to damage the radiator, carefully take your condenser up, and there's our big hole in it. Right there. All right, so let's go get our new condenser. All right, here we go. We got our new condenser, and I like this new condenser because on the bottom edges where the bolts go up to, they got slots. So what we're actually going to do is we're going to put the bolts in the bottom right off the top. That makes it a lot easier for us. Remove these plugs right here. Now a lot of times when you remove these plugs, you might hear a little air coming out of there. Let me see if we can hear it. No, we didn't. All right, that's good. Well, it's good. So a lot of times they evacuate the system and do that. All right, that is good. So let's go over here to the car. Take 2 bolts, and what we're gonna do is reach down in here. We're gonna start them off just about. Let's see, get it started. Just about 3 or 4 threads. So we can slide it right down onto that. All right, then we're gonna reach over here. Let me make it on this side. And we're gonna do the same thing. Again, what I'm doing is picking up the radiator to make it a lot easier to get. All right, let's go get our new condenser. All right, now installing the condenser, make sure your lines are facing out towards you. And we're going to pull the radiator, push the radiator back, and slowly slide the condenser down. And we're looking to hook them on to the 2 bolts at the bottom. Okay, I got 1 and 2. Great. All right, make sure get our lines out of the way over here. All right, and now that we got that, let's go up here, put in 2 bolts, by a couple threads. Yeah. Okay, and get this one. And once we put this one in, let's tighten all the bolts up. All right, now, you know, I should have mentioned this, guys. If your new condenser comes with new O-rings, these O-rings right here on these lines, you want to make sure you replace those. These are in very good condition. It didn't come with it anyway, so. All right, so what we're going to do is go down here and push these in. Let me get the top one. And just wiggle that in. And once you get it in like that, take one of the bolts, start it off by hand. Now you might have to twist the line a little bit to get this started. This one came out good. Now for this bottom one. Okay, now I can see it right now. I have to twist that one a little bit.
This bottom one's hard to see.
It is, huh? Okay, I got it started. All right, tighten those two bolts up. All right, now our next step, if you back up on the video, will be putting the radiator support back. But what we're gonna do is we're gonna put our horns back so it can be an easier installation instead of that thing being in the way. Let's get this wire over here. And what we're gonna do is plug this up until you hear it click. Just let that rest down there. Don't drop it because you don't want to damage the condenser. Let's get our other one. Click that into place. And just lay it down. Next we're going to bring over our radiator support. Bring it down. Perfect. Okay, perfect. You want to make sure the support is set behind that bracket right there, and right here inside there, make sure it's set on that side as well. Once you have that, let's take two of our 10mm bolts, start them off by hand. We're not going to tighten them up. That is great. Now let's get the rest of our 10mm bolts and put them in. All right, we got all bolts in, started by hand. And now we're going to go ahead and tighten them all up. All right, the next thing we're going to do is take out our two 12mm bolts for our horns. Or you can do one at a time. Reach down, pick the horn up. Start the bolt off with a couple threads so we don't cross thread it. That is that. Also guys, make sure, let me get this one right here. Let me show you. Take the bolt out of here. When you install your horns, if you took them out, you want to make sure that the horn, the bracket, make sure the horn is not like this. There's our bracket and the horn is on this side, not like that, because it will push into the condenser. So you make sure you turn that horn around. And bolt it up like that. Alright, let's tighten those 2 bolts up. Alright guys, the last part. Let's remove our 2 10mm bolts. Take down air tube. This part of the air tube goes over the air box that holds the air filter. Just put it over it. Bring it down. Put the bolts in. Tighten them up. Now at this stage you're ready to take your car back to the repair shop and have them recharge your system. Hope you enjoyed the video.